April 1945. Berlin is already dead. The city no longer functions as a capital or even as a place meant for life. It is a ruin, smoke drifting through streets that no longer have names, buildings hollowed out into concrete skeletons. Somewhere beneath this city, deep underground, Adolf Hitler waits. Above him, children are being handed rifles, old men are being told to stop tanks, civilians are being executed for trying to flee. And still, the order stands. Fight, to the last man, to the last bullet. By the final months of the war, Hitler is no longer trying to win, he is trying to judge. Nazism had always framed history as a brutal contest, where weakness deserved extinction. In 1945, that belief turns inward. Hitler begins to speak openly about the German people as a failure. If they cannot conquer Europe, if they cannot defeat their enemies, then they are unworthy of survival. This is not rage in defeat, it is ideological consistency. In March 1945, Hitler orders the destruction of Germany's own infrastructure. Bridges, factories, railways, water supplies, not to slow the enemy, but to ensure that nothing remains. Germany is to die with him. Militarily, Berlin is indefensible. The Red Army surrounds the city with overwhelming force, millions of soldiers, tens of thousands of artillery pieces, complete air dominance. Every general knows the truth. Berlin cannot be held. But Hitler does not see Berlin as a city, he sees it as a symbolic endpoint. If the Reich is to fall, it will fall theatrically, publicly, in blood. Berlin becomes a stage for the final act, not of strategy but of obsession, a city offered up to history as proof of will. The Volkssturm is announced as a people's uprising. In reality, it is a confession. By late 1944, Germany has run out of soldiers. So the regime turns to schoolboys barely old enough to shave, disabled veterans from the previous war, men in their 60s, some in their 70s. Many have never fired a weapon. Some are given rifles older than they are. Others receive a single Panzerfaust, one shot, one chance. They are told this is honor, but everyone understands what it really is, a delay measured in minutes. Posters line the streets warning against cowardice. SS units patrol the rear, not to stop the enemy, but to stop Germans from retreating. Makeshift gallows appear on lampposts. The signs hanging from the dead are deliberate. I refuse to defend Berlin. I betrayed the fatherland. Fear replaces loyalty. Terror replaces morale. This is not mobilization. This is coercion through death. Hitler's final orders remove any remaining ambiguity. No surrender is permitted. No withdrawal is authorized. Encircled units are to fight until annihilation. Commanders who disobey are branded traitors. Some are arrested. Some are executed. The goal is no longer military effect. The goal is obedience, even when obedience guarantees death. To surrender is not framed as survival. It is framed as moral failure. And so men are ordered to die, not because it helps Germany, but because it proves loyalty to a collapsing idea. The Battle of Berlin is not a single battle. It is thousands of small, brutal endings. Apartments become bunkers, stairwells become killing zones, basements fill with civilians listening to the city tear itself apart above them. Volkssturm units fight alongside SS fanatics, some terrified, some indoctrinated, some simply trapped. German soldiers who know the war is lost face an impossible choice: advance towards certain death or retreat and face execution by their own side. Meanwhile, Soviet artillery does not stop. Shells collapse entire blocks at once. Fires spread unchecked. The city burns continuously. Berlin is no longer being defended. It is being destroyed in slow motion. While Berlin dies, Hitler issues orders from underground. He moves divisions that do not exist. He demands counterattacks from units already wiped out. Reality has become optional. The bunker is sealed off from the city's suffering, but not from its consequences. On April 30th, 1945, Hitler kills himself. Not in defiance, not in battle, but in isolation. Above him, the people he condemned to die continue fighting, for hours, for days, because the system he built cannot stop itself. The last stand in Berlin is often framed as tragic heroism. It wasn't. It was the final act of a regime that believed human lives were expendable tools. The Volkssturm was not a symbol of unity, it was proof of collapse. The last man, last bullet mentality was not courage, it was fanaticism stripped of purpose. Berlin did not fall because Germans lacked will. It fell because a system built on absolute obedience could only end in total ruin, not with surrender, but with death. History doesn't end in glory, it ends in consequences.